think the discipleship house is as simple as learning about Christ and intentionally telling other people about it. Focusing on the community you live in and saying, how can I take roots with my life to get involved with the people around me? And so the discipleship house is simply a community-minded group of believers who are effectively missionaries. And we happen to be on Montrose, an amazingly eclectic community that has huge political power and is in such an influential part of Houston. And so the church really planted us, the discipleship house, as a beacon of light into this community. So, senior year of college, I went through a fairly impactful breakup, which really drew me close to the Lord and really put me at a different passion for the Lord. But coming into kind of growing out of college life and into the professional life, I was looking for a church that was large enough that would have a young adults community. And so First Pres fit that mold perfectly. And I remember one specific time I was beginning to really think to myself that this church thing can't just be Wednesdays and Sundays. I knew I was feeling empty in certain parts of my life and kind of feeling like I was going through the motions. And so I remember one car ride after going to First Pres one time thinking, I want to do more. I don't feel like I'm sacrificing anything. I'm really not giving my life up for anybody else, for anything else. And so then when my small group leader, Jen Hall, told me about the discipleship house, she's like, you should go to an info session. You know, I kind of went in with a pompous attitude, but as I continued to listen, I was on my knees by the end of the night because the commitment that these guys have was putting me to shame. I was so humbled. I was on my knees saying, God, you've rocked me. And so I then knew that this was what the Lord was calling me to, that time in my car when I was yearning for something more, First Pres was giving me an outlet. God was opening a door to really live that out. I had been to a number of other churches and they're all evangelistic, but living it and sacrificing both time and money, I think bar none, First Pres was doing it more than anyone else I had seen. And so First Pres really encompassed what I was looking for and what the Lord was calling, what I believe the Lord's calling every believer to give up your life and with joy, happily. And so I think a lot of times Christians, we go to church and we have a lot to offer, but we don't know that we have a lot to offer. First Pres is equipping its believers and equipping the people who are attending that church to go and live out beyond Sunday. And in fact, calling us to do that every Sunday. And so giving to First Pres is really giving to the kingdom of the Lord, because First Pres is really unifying all of Houston, and to whom much is given, much will be expected of. God can do anything when people who are like-minded are striving alongside one another, giving to one cause, and moving in unison together. And you can't do that unless you're giving in your time, talents, and treasures. What God's doing through D-House is really just molding the people who are participating in the program into people who look more like Him. Granted, the discipleship house is a season of my life, but I really see it as the beginning of being trained to live for the gospel for the rest of my life.